Tan Sikakio, get a tam scat now, our not skaki skak, bit the ma, the nanaskamo the same mantu, Kutaki skow, a meguyak, Ayak me not the gani poyak and not suma, Nicotosic, gets it the Bahamat the winnerski, Gagiki, in a wak, Gawigetsik, Mina. Apitogas sanak wisto utaga wigetsik nanaskum na pintohtamik ay hay.
When I'm out harvesting, picking berries or plants or anything else on the land, I always give an offering, sing a song or just say thank you. And now I've been taught to do I say the proper way, but I think the way, in a good way. You want to harvest it in a good way. And I find that when I kind of give that explanation, the finished product ends up better. You know, you've started a relationship with that plant by communicating, and then maybe they're a little bit more cooperative when it comes time to cook with them. And bison, so there's very few Indigenous people, very few people in Saskatchewan who are not Indigenous who've eaten bison. I think if we took a survey of the hospital, it would maybe be, 5 to 10% because they were eradicated. So I think bison is a perfect opportunity to reintroduce that, especially to people in a hospital setting. Maybe they don't cook bison at home, but maybe their great-great-grandfather was over at Wanuskewin at the bison jump 1,000 years ago. I think just because it hasn't been eaten recently doesn't mean that we can't reintroduce it to people. The term cultural humility, which is the first kind of part of this project, that's really what it is. It's just to know that, all the skills that I've gathered from, picking berries as a little girl to running my own restaurant, I just feel humbled that I'm able to be part of this. And when the team went out on the land, went to Wanuskewin and had some teachings from the elders and spent a day out there. That was the day that I started cooking for this project. And I think that started things off in a really good way. And it really, I just feel really honored to be part of it. I hope that a project like this can make First Nations and Métis, Indigenous people who access healthcare in Saskatchewan feel seen and feel honored and feel nourished. And also respected. Because if you go to a hospital and there's nothing that speaks to you or this land that we're on, just a feeling of being noticed, being recognized. And for the kids, for the kids' patient menus, what I want them to be educated in a way too. So maybe they haven't tried some of these things. Maybe they've never tasted a Saskatoon berry. Maybe they've never had bison. This is healthy, amazing food. It's going to help you heal. It's going to help your mind, body, and soul. So there isn't a downside. While it might be difficult, sourcing might be a little bit difficult, and we also need to respect that we can't decimate, certain plants and animals, which we wouldn't do. And ask questions. Yeah. I not being raised in a traditional manner, I've made so many faux pas, and I think to know that if you do something that's wrong, or you cook an ingredient the wrong way, or you call it by the wrong name or whatever, I think people are very willing to help and to teach. Oh, yeah. So I think sometimes people maybe who are non-Indigenous are like, I don't want to make bannock because then people are going to say but if you're in the kitchen and you're helping to prepare this, I think ask questions and know that your voice matters.
I think it's really important to understand where our food comes from, and with that, how we prepared it. And if we can give somebody a memory from what we cook, it's going to make everything taste better. I started cooking for people. So cooking for myself, you never think about that. It's one of those feeding yourself type pieces. But then when you understand you can make people happy by giving them food and or bringing them to a certain time in their life or experience or a certain person, it just makes all the difference. If you can engage somebody, if you can have a relationship with somebody through your food, it's a remarkable thing. The creator's given us something beautiful, and we just need to show it off. What we'd hope for, what would be the absolute goal, is to say I felt nourished and the food was good and I understood it. It's such a neat place to be for somebody to go, I've had this before. Even people that don't understand why we're trying to give different food types understand that not everybody eats the food. Not everybody recognizes what we give for food to patients is food to them. We have crazy diversity, and everybody understands the benefit of having food that's from their cultures or their situations or the country they're from. So if they understand that, and we're saying we're going to take just this one little area and we're going to make these people feel comfortable when they use our services, I think then we have a chance to do more. It goes a long way. Like if you feel like something's good, right? If you feel something's nourishing you and that somebody's taken time to do something for you, it makes everything different.
People that come in from out of town, like especially the northerners, it's good to give them their food so that kind of heals them. And so I think that way then let us bring in food, like traditional food, like elk and moose meat and stuff like that. And I think it would heal people more and make them feel at home. And especially when you're in for a long haul in the hospital, at least if you had food that reminds you of your home, you're not so lonesome. And I think they need to do that and build around helping the local people, whether it's vegetables or berries. To have Aboriginal people be seen in the SHA, then people feel comfortable.
One of the main things I remember back then, elders saying, we don't have Indigenous foods in the hospitals, why don't we? That's a simple, honest question. The work that they're doing here is very important. The amount of chronic diseases is higher in Aboriginal populations. And so what does that mean? The hospital rates are higher too, right? And so it's disproportionate. So why not feed them their foods that will heal them?
Like our laws are natural laws. Our natural laws are, we live with Mother Earth, we live with the land, we put prayers down, we put tobacco down. There are rules that we follow so that the land is looked after.
They always say it's a good thing happening here. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because of the wellness of our people, making sure that they get better and healthier all the way around. And by helping with our traditional foods, it's a start. Tokada lila washte wupiado. Wana wota wanikiaplo. Amataki pi amataki was. Now that's hello everybody. We're gathered here today to feed. Line up, it's all a good thing. It's time to eat.